If we haven't met already, my name is Martha, and I'm the content marketing manager here at Wynter. And today I'm joined by Chloe, director of content at PartnerStack. Now, today we're going to be walking you through all about our recent content collaboration that we did, and we're going to cover how it started, what we uncovered, and all the key insights that you'll be needing for moving forward with proving value for partnerships in 2026. And we will be having a short content-focused Q&A at the end, so please do put your questions in the chat, and we'll get to those at the end. And as always, I'll be sending out the slides, the recording, your key tactics tomorrow morning, along with a link to the report as well. So, Chloe, do you want to start at the very beginning?
Oh my goodness. Yes, absolutely. So like most brand marketers, Chloe, she introduced me. I had content here at PartnerStack. I really care about content, copy, editorial, background journalism. So punctuation saves lives. And we were already customers of Wynter before. So that's kind of how we were familiar with Wynter. So like it was, before connecting with Martha, knew they weren't spam or random, which is always exciting in our email worlds. We were using Wynter as a CRO platform when we're testing homepages. We love brand at PartnerStack. We do a lot of testing with landing pages. So Wynter as a testing platform was something we were really familiar with at the time, which is, the first intro to Wynter. And which is why it was really exciting when, I'm going to move to the next slide here, when this showed up in my email one day, this intro, and it's a surprising moment to look at you folks today and look at Martha here, because this entire thing started with a cold email. I'm going to pass it over to Martha because she sent this and I engaged with it, and here's why.
Okay, amazing. So yeah, this summer at Wynter, I kicked off this new initiative, which was all about partnering with brands through Wynter to co-create really valuable research. And as Chloe said, I already knew about PartnerStack, their work, they're really high standards, and they have a really very clear editorial tone. So as a content marketing manager, I was very aware of their content anyway, and was a big fan of it. Their reports have this sort of serious depth and clarity, and I knew that our audiences would kind of overlap and our strengths could really align together. So as Chloe said, I cold emailed her, and you can see the email here. We did have a few mutual connections on LinkedIn, and I knew they'd used Wynter before, obviously, but I really wanted to work with them. And as you can see with the email, everyone says, keep it really short, keep it sweet, automate it. But I really, really wanted to make it quite personal. And if you read this email and you've been to the workshops before, you can spot my tone of voice right away. It's very me, it's very British. And the key thing here, I think, is that I pitched a new idea which was tailored to them. And I read a lot of their content and I spotted a gap within it that I knew that we could close together. So I sent off this email. Took me quite a while to write it and come up with the idea. 4 hours later, Chloe did reply, which I was quite surprised about, because who replies to cold emails these days? And a week later, we were on a call, and that one cold email turned into a pretty incredible partnership, which we're both incredibly proud of today.
I just like to be clear, I usually don't respond to cold emails, and it's because it was personalized and not AI generated and not automated, which is why I think I engaged with it.
Yeah.
And if I were really transparent, one of the things we were flirting with at PartnerStack before this email even came in was the unique offerings of Wynter in their research. So when this email came in, it was like, oh, how well timed. We're in the midst of content planning. This looks like a, juicy opportunity for us to kind of sniff around with. So obviously we're going to engage because, PartnerStack, we're all about partnerships. So somebody pitches a co-marketing opportunity and it makes sense, we're going to engage with it. So she was right. We did hop on a call very, very quickly and make it happen. Although this was back in May. So this has been quite a journey, because we also don't like rush production either. We wanted to make sure that whatever we were co-marketing and producing together through this partnership, it was of value, and that we were bringing a lot of benefit and value to the market in B2B SaaS. So something we really care about. PartnerStack obviously is all about partnerships. We are an ecosystem platform, a modern PRM with the world's largest B2B network. We help affiliate partnerships, co-sell partnerships, support referral partnerships, and creator partnerships. We make it all happen on our platform through technology and through our network, and our partnership services and our content. Like, my personal goal at PartnerStack is to level up the partnerships IQ across the industry and to tell the best stories and sniff out the best data, find the best experts, and amplify those voices. So the partnership and co-marketing efforts with Wynter was inevitable and natural for us to say yes to. So that's kind of what we had to do, right? And I'm going to move in to I was a recipient to that email, and I responded, which, again, rare. And if anyone in this room today has sent an email, sorry, if it was an automated email, I might not have responded yet because I tend not to respond to AI generated or automated emails. But Martha's email pitching data, unique data, original data, and research was something I had to respond to. Because at the end of the day, PartnerStack anchors our reports in original research. We also do proprietary data too. We have Research Lab. We have partnered with other folks before. Folks probably know us best from the Women in SaaS report across. We partnered with 9 different SaaS companies for that one, and we got the data on the work women do. In case you're wondering, women keep the ecosystem operating, and we have the data to prove it. Love to see that. We also do videos. We most recently shot some customer testimonials in a studio in New York, and amplifying stories of folks in SaaS and their partner programs is kind of what we live for. Our reports and guides, we do value like a strong, clear editorial tone. We care about narrative, but we care about facts and stats too. So one of our big goals is to educate folks and support what they're doing with their go-to-market motions. Partnerships is, no longer an optional thing. It's kind of becoming foundational, especially if you're in SaaS. And that's kind of what we were trying to aim. We had Martha and I came together, talked through a lot of our goals with the partnership and the story we wanted to tell together and the data we wanted to sniff out together. And the experts we wanted to be kind of leaning into in their voices. So she was really good. And I'm going to move on to the next slide, actually. Although, just to take a look at this fun chart and our little contents, that there's a lot more on partnerstack.com, not to plug, but here we are going to plug it, resources, in case you did want to see the variations of formats that we have. But it was the only thing to do, to partner on the report and to come up with the stories that we were going to tell in the market together. With Wynter and I would love Martha to kind of help me articulate this a little bit. What did we do when we were trying to come up with our report? We were like the state of partnerships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we went backwards about what the story we wanted to tell was, and figure out exactly what we wanted to say. Obviously, you can't predict what people are going to tell you, but we wanted to kind of build out that story very organically of how we want to feel. We knew people wanted to read it and kind of walk away and going, yes, this is the proof that I need to move forwards with partnerships. And I think we needed to prove that in that right kind of way, but obviously we didn't know if we were going to be able to do that through the question set because we're speaking to so many people with so many different insights and backgrounds. So, I mean, the results were always going to be a surprise, but I think it was really crucial for us to work out exactly what we needed to say, what we hoped to say. I think that was the key. Yeah.
I mean, low key, it has been one of our favorite partnerships, not just because Martha's great, but because Wynter was the exact right partner for this. Yeah. We have the power to tell stories at PartnerStack. We have, it's a program, our content programs powered by journalists, experts, editorial experts, writers, reporters, some from B2C, credible brands from B2C to B2B, some of the best in B2B. And what we were missing was kind of that data piece. And what Wynter offered was that access to an inventory of revenue leaders with insights into partnerships. And I think that's when we started nerding out on questions, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's the thing. We were like, Wynter and PartnerStack, the two of us, we have the right teams to do the thing and make B2B SaaS just a little bit better. And how might we produce this report? And then I think the most exciting thing about Wynter and Martha's expertise here was the research, right? Mm-hmm. and your
Yeah,
abilities and your access, your inventory. And I'd love for you to talk
yeah.
about that, because like that's what kind of hooked us here at PartnerStack.
No, definitely. And I think it's definitely a really powerful resource. I think when you're working in content marketing, it's so crucial to be able to have those new insights, right? And I think it's something that very few create is content based on new insights. I know that, as Chloe mentioned, PartnerStack were already doing that through their research labs, but I just knew at Wynter that we could help take this a lot further. And so, yeah, if you're listening right now and curious about original content, I think it'd be helpful to map out, exactly what we did, so you can use this method too. But I think in the back of our minds, we're very aware through all the research that we're doing as well at Wynter that, and everyone already knows that brand mentions are really the new backlinks now in the age of AI, SEO, GEO, whatever you want to call it. And as Chloe said, it's the original research that gets attention. Journalists pick it up. And in our case, this is written by journalists from the team at PartnerStack who are incredible. So they've got that exact tone of voice just to get picked up in the right kind of places. And through original research, these are the sort of things that other creators could then feature in blogs, newsletters, LinkedIn posts. And it's building out that key kind of mental availability and doing it with rigor as well. And I think that was really important to us coming into this. And Wynter is built for this. So through Wynter, you can kind of run your target customer survey, and typically these have 10 questions. Because we have access to those ICPs, you can get those people right in front of you. And we used 100 participants, which gives you around about 10% margin of error, which is very accurate. And all of this can be done within 48 hours. So what we were left with then was 1,000 verbatim responses of exactly what the market is thinking right now in their own words. And I think that's where magic really happened. It was kind of like that data then can fuel the report. Then it can fuel 10 plus social posts, as many blog posts as you want, gate it, ungate it, capture leads, kind of drive traffic, build authority. And I think whatever the goal is there, it's all in the research. So for our exact research, we decided, like I said, to go ahead with 100 senior leaders from B2B SaaS companies. And we decided on 50 million plus in revenue as well. For Chloe, I think it was really important that we were getting the right ICP. So we spoke to people in marketing, revenue, and specifically partnership leaders as well. And we were able to get that audience for them. And most respondents, as you can see from this slide, came out in kind of mid-market enterprise as well. And like I said, I think the goal here mainly is to kind of uncover the original insights that's missing actually from industry data today and making sure they're super up to date as well. So we were looking for that data to help teams make better strategic decisions. And then we were able to kind of like work backwards and build that thought leadership around it. And I think the important thing here is we're wanting to arm people who want to prove that partnerships are really valuable with the accurate data. And I think through this methodology, we were able to do exactly that and actually a lot more. And what we've walked away with is a hell of a lot of content that Chloe and her team can then come back to and revisit perhaps in a year's time, or maybe they want to, I don't know, have a refresh and a bit of a zhuzh up of the data. Well, all of that's there then to work back on.
We can, a lot of possibilities. You know what I'd love to highlight too, and this is the thing that stood out when we were working with Wynter too, is when we did engage the revenue leaders, you folks had this whole thing on how to vet in case like people were doing AI responses.
Yeah,
so these were human responses, which is something that we value too, because we wanted to make sure we were bringing value to our audiences and this was legit. And the you folks had that whole process to support that. That was something that was impressive for me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really important as well. We're really focusing on, like I said, getting people to speak honestly about what's going on right now for them. So, I mean, we didn't know whether it was going to be positive, negative, kind of swing in our favor or anything, but it's just kind of letting go with that and realizing actually what also comes from this too is you've got the raw insights, right? And I think now for Chloe and her team, they have like 118 pages of raw insights that I developed for them, which then they can walk away and do whatever with for however long that they need. So it's like, the methodology was so rigorous that we went above, beyond, and everything and more. And every insight you see in the report, while it's a bit scary to figure out what's actually going on right now in case it's not going in the right kind of direction, I don't know. I think because the foundation was so good and it's so unfiltered that the audience output is going to be fantastic anyway. So yeah, I was thrilled that they wanted to do it with us for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. And then obviously those insights, that research informed what we would then build out, which is the state of partnerships and go-to-market 2026.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing, because what was exciting was we had the hypothesis, but then now we have the proof points and the data to really show how partnerships and SaaS companies are closing faster, are like kind of avoiding churn and growing smarter and scaling with partnerships, right? We have the data now to prove it, and that's always our favorite. Um, this was written by one of our top reporters, and when we went through the findings that Wynter the analysis that Wynter provided us, and then kind of going through the journalistic process on our end, doing the editorial process of kind of finding the narrative, we wanted to make sure we were pulling out the most important takeaways for our audiences, right? And, understanding that partner programs and partner technology are becoming kind of like a critical growth engine for B2B SaaS companies. We wanted to provide the right key takeaways that would do this in a way that benefits our audience and isn't just, kind of we're not here just to plug, I know we're in content marketing, but for us, we do really believe that the best content provides the most value. And so we learned that based on the people we talked to through the Wynter platform, the Wynter survey, that 69% of the companies were planning to increase investment into partnerships, and why, right? We wanted to get into the why of it all, and that's kind of what this allowed us to do. So we're gonna do a bit about that today. We're gonna dive in, if that's fun for you folks. A lot of preamble there, right? The big insights were attribution is a bigger blocker, with only 42% of companies using multi-touch attribution across that funnel. You ultimately can't optimize what you don't measure. And this was something that we were excited about, right? When you were doing the findings, you found a lot about attribution, right, Martha? Like, we had the
so
quotes.
much.
Yeah. What were the takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, like when we're going through it as well, like as I'm analyzing, I mean, many people are saying so many things at once. So we don't use AI to go through those insights. Like, I'm doing it incredibly manually, which is incredibly time consuming. But I think attribution pops up as the key thing. And it feels like now, when you read through all those different stories and stages, like if you don't, I mean, it's the classic story, isn't it? If you don't nail the attribution, it's not looking good for 2026, basically. And I think we kind of can assume that it's going to be a major blocker, but seeing it actually in actuality compared to some of the other results was really interesting, because a lot of people want to move forward with partnerships, but they've got to get this bit right first. And I think that's the crucial element here. Yeah.
Cool. And to do that too, you need clean attribution. You need to be aligned. Partner programs and sales, go to market needs to be kind of like this cohesive, orchestrated system. So that's like a whole thing. We also got into what everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
It's AI.
Classic.
It's trending real hard, and we wanted to take it beyond, writing an email. And while, there are people, whether you're for AI, against AI, AI is here. It's not an if, it's how you're going to respond to it, how you're going to work with it. And the truth is, we knew that we know we are all in B2B SaaS, right? Early adopters are going to be dominating. With 49% looking to leverage it for partner and account targeting and program management. What was really exciting about the report was our ability to deep dive into what people were hoping to do with it. Taking it beyond the agents, taking it beyond writing their bios for themselves. We wanted to see the possibilities of AI, and a lot of them were pretty sophisticated use cases.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I remember like one of the key quotes being that they want it to predict partner success as well. Like, people have big dreams for like what this can kind of do. And that was really exciting too, because it kind of gives you an insight into like how we're going to move forward. But the need is definitely there. Again, I remember many of the quotes being about attribution and being able to prove partnerships worth. But I think, AI to being as a predictive thing as well was super exciting for most of people. Yeah.
And what we knew, because I think what we also found out through the report was like 8 out of 10 people were running formal partner programs. And if you're running these programs, like, how are you going to embed AI? Like, AI and partnerships kind of go hand in hand too. It makes sense. So it was an exciting thing to discover together. And we built so many. Oh, the animation doesn't work on this, eh?
Oh no, it doesn't work.
Oh,
that's such a shame.
We cry. So this isn't a blank chart, we promise. This is actually what's up.
You'll get the real version in the email I'll send tomorrow, so don't worry about that.
I was like, okay, that would be amazing. But we learned that, okay, well, this was a really nice chart that animated up. We found that senior leaders value partners as part of a go-to-market execution. We saw that 99% of senior leaders were speaking to partnerships being a key part of their go-to-market strategy. And so that was an important thing to know. Like, I guess that's, doing more with less
Yeah.
has been a trend in B2B SaaS the last few years. And partnerships is a good way to do it in a lot of ways. I'm really sad about this chart situation right now because the next one also, I cry. Go to market motions. That great partners. You're going to see this. So this one's a slightly different one, and this one comes out to the side. I'm just going to describe this visually for you folks. Go to market motions that incorporate partners, accelerate active sales cycles. We saw 63% of B2B SaaS companies involve partners in multiple motions across their go-to-market funnel.
Yeah. I wonder if I can. I'm just going to see if I can share the slides for you, Chloe. Is that okay? No, not right now. I'll work on it in the background. Give you 2 seconds.
They do have really pretty charts that visualize. We're really into storytelling by the numbers, data visualization. It's something we really value at PartnerStack. So, I mean, just to gently plug PartnerStack's research lab, we love nerding out on the sexiest types of charts because we want to go beyond the bar and the pie as much as we can. So we like to come up with unique ways of kind of identifying data points and creating sticky opportunities. I mean, I can just move on, right?
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to work out if I can share the screen, but in a different way. But the charts aren't loading. So
no.
I know,
all
it's
right.
such a shame.
So back to B2B SaaS leaders predict AI drives partner revenue as it continues to grow across our industry. Because this is the thing. We saw 49% of senior leaders who wanted improved partner and account targeting through AI. So we did ask people for their wish list, their hopes and dreams for how we could leverage AI. And, you know, as for folks that are interested in partner technology, this is something that people should be thinking about and how we can, you know, in an AI first world, how you may be able to kind of do this and drive the most value and support companies, right? That are looking to strengthen their go-to-market motions. We know that like through partnerships and stuff too. The thing is, we know 48% already without the AI. Almost half the respondents say their alignment with partners shortened sales cycles. So once we, you know, once we start advancing through that AI piece, these numbers get better, and making the bottom line a little better for all businesses that are leveraging partnerships. And one of our favorite things is like the anecdata. Quotes from real people. But I do think that's also an important thing. As much as we go on about numbers and data, anecdata also, there's value in that too. Quantifiable and qualifiable data both matter. And what one of the features that we loved about the research analysis was the ability to kind of dive deeper into the whys of what people were why they like they put down certain responses and what certain answers were and why they would say that or what they were looking for. So the long answers were something you did all that work to like kind of analyze that, right? So
yeah, and it was incredibly lengthy. Like I think that's it. And I think when you're working with a huge data set as well, and you're working with the opportunity to build out so much content, it's so important to go through and like just re-go through everything as much as you can. And like it does feel really time intensive at times, but I think what you come out with, I mean, if you can run it through an LLM, I mean, of course you can, but it's not going to capture those intricacies of people saying multiple things at multiple times, or the kind of thought processes leading up to that point in the question set. So it was really nice actually to be able to go through and code those. And I think when you've got what people are actually saying as well, there's so much power behind that because there's a lot of sentiment and fear and also barriers, and there's so much to go into within it as well. And I think once you start netting out those themes, you can really sense what's actually going on. We did actually have 5 multiple choice questions, didn't we? And we had 5 which were focused on qualitative insights. And I think, like Chloe said, it's always really great to have the numbers and like have the charts and things, but I think having real voices and real people and how they're currently feeling is so important. And it's a lovely add-on when you're building out the content later down the line as well, because you can refer back to these people. There's a real sentiment there, and it makes numbers feel really alive as well. And I think that's a core aspect which is so important, because it's like the numbers are great. Yes, they're the things that people in leadership really want to hear, but I think as the leaders are saying, you know, they want to hear that peer-to-peer point of view as well. And I think we definitely got that across within our report as well, which is, fantastic.
Well, I think this is the thing. Partnerships are a niche, right? It's a bit of a niche industry. but so passionate, made up of like these individuals that really care. So
Hmm.
I think that's what makes that opportunity to kind of speak to why they care,
Hmm.
and kind of hear it through their own voices too, because
Hmm.
um, you know, when it comes to revenue and go to market, we know that like partners accelerate a lot of those revenues by supporting decisions. And a lot of that's soft too, right? Like when it comes to sales and marketing, we know that there's a lot of feeling involved behind all the facts. And one of the things that we did is, and we captured, so we had a lot of those quotes to support numbers like more than 51% of our respondents saying that partners are involved in every sales and marketing decision, right?
Yeah.
But what does that mean? And so we had the opportunity to kind of highlight exactly what that meant um,
Hmm.
through these quotes and
Yeah.
everything. And I
Yes.
guess, anyway, so we love that. And we included as much as we could without spam and everything in there.
Mhm.
The hardest thing was cutting them. And if
Yeah.
I could share every single one of them, I would. But in the time of attention spans, we knew that maybe people might not make it the whole thing. So we didn't.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
that's kind of a bit of the report. I mean, I strongly encourage everyone to read it.
Yeah.
It's a great read. We made it skimmable. We made it, snackable, digestible for
Yeah.
folks.
No,
Um,
definitely. I'd say it's like 29 pages, but you can definitely whip through it. I mean, there's lovely infographics, which sadly you couldn't see here today because it wasn't loading properly. But yeah, there's lots you can take away there, and it's really clearly highlighted in terms of like what could be of interest to you as well. I think if you are curious about partnerships or even partnerships in this kind of way that we're kind of showing today as well in terms of content and getting the most out of that, I think this is a super important one to take a look at for sure.
can I say something nerdy?
Of course.
Okay, so can we talk about the fish for a second,
Oh
really
yeah.
quickly? The
Yeah.
art, speaking of, in case you were wondering, because somebody was asking about this, and they were like, "Did you pick fish because you're a Pisces?" Which I'm not sure who's here right now, but yeah, we do love zodiacs too. But we didn't pick fish because we're Pisces. We were like affiliates. You cast a wide net, and like referral programs are more like spearfishing.
Yeah.
So we created this entire brand concept around fishing because of partnerships. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to, like, in
There was a
case I was
lot.
curious
Yeah.
to know what the interpretations for other folks are. Look at Winter Yellow. Huh?
No, definitely. No, it's great. I think that was what was so lovely about it as well, was like seeing all your attention to detail and absolutely everything. I was like, I just knew this partnership would shine and the content was really gonna like I just felt like the insights were gonna get as much out of it as possible. And I think it's just lovely to see that this has all come together in such a big way. Like I'm definitely super proud of this project. I have a couple of questions for you, Chloe, just in terms of like the content and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, because there were loads of kind of interesting stats that we can pull out of here. But I think talking about this from a kind of content perspective, I mean, obviously you run a lot of partnerships at PartnerStack. What do you think was your favorite thing about doing the partnership with us? And what do you think was the thing that made it work so well? Because we obviously saw the percentage, I think it was 37% of people cite team misalignment as the biggest blocker of partnerships. And I felt like ours happened really clearly. So yeah, what's your advice in terms of managing a successful content partnership, I suppose, as the
Well,
director of content?
so, and we actually saw a lot of this because people were like, if they got to run partnerships, what are some of the things they'd be doing? And a lot of them actually picked co-marketing as a form of
Mhm.
partnership. Now, a lot of the partnerships that we talk about in our PartnerStack content are more through the affiliate referral co-selling lens, right? So a lot of it's a lot more business and a lot more transactional.
Yeah.
We, being content folks, have the luxury of doing things in a more of a co-marketing and fun partnership way.
Yeah.
Now, and as somebody that does a lot of co-marketing partnerships, my favorite thing about doing it with Wynter is how much you folks kind of gave into the partnership as well. It's
Mm.
not like every partnership, it's never 50-50.
Yeah.
But this one felt more balanced than
Yeah.
than some partnerships in the past where you know, like every team project, every group project, it's not
Yeah.
always it's not always equally distributed, and we're
Mhm.
happy to take on a lot of the work and production and stuff. And to be fair, we're also resourced to do so,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. But
Mhm.
I think my favorite thing to with Wynter was you honestly the hard work you put into the research and analysis. Like you're a journalist dream, right? Being able to do that, and then we were able to fact check with you. Going, we see this, and then you could speak to it. And your expertise in the research analysis was something that really helped bring depth and good storytelling to our report. And that's my personal favorite when we're thinking about co-marketing and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: when I was talking conversion rate, I'll share a secret. This is so strong. This report, it's clearly resonating with folks. We're at a 52% organic conversion rate right now, and people are loving it. And it brings me joy to know that we can help inform people's insights, and with insights, inform people through insights for their work as they go move forward and make their day a little easier. Like, one of our goals while we were developing this was to make sure things were screenshotable and digestible. And the way we wrote it too is very New York Times. We want to make sure we're at like a grade 8 level where it's accessible for everyone. We don't write things to sound pretentious or smart. We write things for clarity. What matters to us most is that our audience has something to take away and speak to in a meeting. If provided 1 of 3 insights for somebody to bring into their next meeting, when they're speaking to their C-suite, when they're speaking to fellow revenue leaders and being able to provide that kind of insight, we know that we've done our job, right? We're here to help level up the partnerships IQ, and that's what our goal was. So we wouldn't have been able to do this one without you. So this was a meaningful partnership for us. So
amazing. Yeah. I'm glad to hear it. It just, like I said before, it makes me really happy to see it all kind of come together. And like you said, the conversion rates are happening, everything's going really well. For you, what would you say? I mean, obviously you're the director of content. Measuring success beyond download numbers and things, what does that look like for you now that the report's out there in the open?
I mean, I feel like I just answered that question.
Yeah,
really, it's learnings, right? Like, for us, it's like I want people to be able to consume this content, to num and digest it properly. And so we wrote it in such a way to do that. We also, in beyond the actual report, which is like, a nice long leisurely read. If you're having a slow afternoon, I feel like it is a fun one to scroll through. We wanted, sometimes we also write it in a tone of voice too that, isn't condescending. We like to be like relatable, conversational about it, but anchored in authority and credibility, all those sort of things. Beyond this, though, we did create content beyond the report. So we had those like 10 research lab charts, some that Wynter has shared, some that PartnerStack has shared. We went deeper into data and insights. So some of the data that we didn't end up using, and the research we didn't end up using in the report, we were able to still repurpose through our research lab to continue adding value to like revenue folks who are kind of always researching. Like, we work in B2B, having come from B2C, one of the biggest shocks for me, why I shouldn't have been so shocked, but it was something that was actually a happy surprise for me, is seeing how passionate people in B2B are and thirsty for good content, good work, and like good insights. Being able to like kind of feed that. Yeah. Satisfying for us, No,
definitely. No, I really appreciate it. Amazing. So it doesn't look like we have any other questions today, Chloe. So I'm going to end the session just here, but I will just say to everyone, I will be sending out the email tomorrow morning. You'll receive the YouTube link, you'll receive my notes, and the link to the report as well. But I'm so grateful for Chloe joining today. It's been a complete joy to talk over our content collaboration and everything that we've been doing so far. And if you have the time, please do read it. And if you do have any questions about partnerships or anything, feel free to send Chloe a message on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions at all about Wynter using our platform and content collaborations as well, please feel free to reach out to me. But thank you ever so much, everyone, for joining. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day. We'll see you soon.